would normally take place, honestly, that would normally take place in an event like this. I mean, if we're talking about radiation in a community environment that we have here, it's going to require all the resources, law enforcement, medical, fire, National Guard troops. It's going to require it all. I mean, this is something that's going to affect every member of the city, and if it occurs in an environment like this. That was all right. Was that good? It seemed kind of canned, but.
And again, you're the chief of the Kingston Police Department.
They tell me I am.
And your name?
Egidio, E-G-I-D-I-O, T-I-N-T-I is the last name.
It's common spelling.
Yeah, the common name. That's right, the common spelling of Egidio. That's right. Oh, that's a low. That catches the. That catches. Oh, you always got to shoot from the top. I'd rather be on my knees on that one. So.
Turtlenecks.
See, I gotta learn.
Okay, we're with MidHudsonNews.com. So, Chief, just give us a quick.
Am I holding this?
I'll hold it for you.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Just look into there. Just give us a quick rundown of this operation.
The operation started at around 8 o'clock this morning. Involved the introduction of a radiation device, and through discovery, through hospital personnel, persons were transported to the hospital. Is this thing on, or you keep looking? Okay,
it's running. I'm just making sure.
I'll try that again.
So, take two.
At around 8 o'clock this morning, we started a drill involving law enforcement, fire, EMS, and they ultimately discovered through the hospital personnel, once we sent the officers and the initial personnel, that device. I'm going to start this over again. I have no idea what I'm doing right now, so I'm going to start this over again.
Yeah, just keep running. We'll edit it.
Oh, you're going to edit it? All right, good. All right, how am I doing? All right, am I screwing up enough? Am I screwing up enough?
You're doing
great. All right. So this morning around 8 o'clock, law enforcement responded to the scenario that a explosive device had gone off. Initial people that were involved in this were transported to the hospital. As part of the training, radiation was detected, and that generated a response by National Guard and similar law enforcement agencies in the area that can handle radiation detection. So you can see around us that there's a large contingency of officers, military personnel that have come together in an effort to try to make sure that we identify any weaknesses and certainly use the strengths of this exercise to develop that relationship.
And this isn't, for real, this is all a drill, right?
This is all a drill, that's correct. No one should be alarmed that we're conducting this exercise.
And has there ever been an exercise of this scale conducted before in the Hudson Valley?
I don't believe that that's actually happened, not to the scale. I mean, we're looking at the possibility of up to 600 people involved in this. It is quite resource intense and certainly beneficial to all of us.
It's been about 10 years since September 11th. So this is to prepare for new threats to the country on a local, on a multi-jurisdictional level?
Well, certainly the scenario is based on a terrorist attempt, but it extends far beyond that. I mean, this certainly identifies resources that we have available to us that we normally never have. So I think that it's absolutely critical to conduct these exercises from time to time. And although it is geared towards a terrorist act, the fact is that it extends beyond, far beyond that.
So it could help, for instance, in the case of a natural disaster.
Absolutely. Again, identifying resources, personnel, communications, that's all part of this drill.
It looks as if a couple of thousand troops here today?
I think the ending number, I believe, was around 500, 600, so it's quite a few.
And is everybody out here from the fire department and the police? Or?
We have a majority of our personnel assigned to this drill today. Again, it's very beneficial to everyone in law enforcement, fire, EMS response.
And how often do you think drills like this are going to take place in the future?
Well, considering the extent of planning that went into it, I would say if it occurs once every few years, it certainly has its benefits.
How much does something like this cost?
I'm unaware of the costs short of outside of our agency, but whatever it costs certainly will pay back tenfold should an event like this actually take place.
And is it covered by each agency, or is it covered by the state or federal government?
Most agencies are covering it out of pocket based upon their resources.
And a lot of this went into our budget planning. we've been able to do since Mayor Satile had organized this building being taken down by the military. This was part of the plan of us being able to use it as a drill. Part of the building is still standing. That was left purposely so that we could do this drill. And it allowed administrators like ourselves to budget and change schedules around so that we could utilize our manpower for this type of event and not be a heavy burden to taxpayers, but get the maximum bang for the buck of this type of exercise.
So what do? You put the video with that? You combine it?
Well, Hank Gross does a radio show, and this is much better sound quality than this thing is going to give you. Right? So he may or may not throw the video on the website.